do a special episode. I have my Brazilian amigo here, Danilo, and we will do a little Q&A session. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Martin. It's a pleasure for me, an honor to be here. It's actually my first podcast ever, and it's like a dream coming true. Honestly, it's something I want to do for me one day. And I'm also very into fitness, so I'm loving this. Thank you very much.
Shoot, that's good to hear. Like you chose the best podcast there is for your first podcast. So congratulations.
Oh, I'm sure. So I started from the top.
So from the top. So what we're gonna do here is Danilo is gonna ask you some questions. So basic questions about fitness and the diet, all about my coaching. I asked him to write down some fashions. I also gave him some, then get just commonly asked from clients. And this little big setup is gonna ask you the questions I'm gonna answer as good as I can, and I hope I can. But let's do this.
All right, so let's start on this. Let's start with some polemical question. Why do you recommend weight loss? Oh, sorry. Why do you recommend weight training for fat loss?
Yeah. The thing is, like, when people want to lose fat, they usually start with running, right? They go outside, they want to jog 2 times, 3 times a week, it's every day. They go on a bicycle, they're doing a lot of cardio, which is okay if you do some physical exercise, right? The problem is if you do too much cardio or only cardio, that body is gonna use muscle mass for energy. As a result, you're gonna lose weight, but not body fat. And now think of that. If you're losing 5 kilograms of weight, but the body fat is still the same, in percent, you have now a higher body fat percentage. So in other words, yes, you lost weight, but you lost muscle mass. And then what happens? People look like this skinny fat, they're not obese. They don't have like a lot of mass, but it still doesn't look good. It still doesn't look defined. This is one reason. And then the other one is like if all you do is cardio, let's say you run 5 kilometers, as you know, your body's very good at adapting. So if you run 5 kilometers and let's say you burn 300 calories, with time you burn less and less calories for the same distance. So in order to get the same results, you need to run faster or often or a longer distance just to get the same result. And this is why is weight training so important, that we signal the body, hey, you need the muscle mass, right? You can have all the fat you want, use the fat for energy, but muscle mass I need. So this is the main reason. This is what people usually get pretty wrong at first.
All right, so basically what you say is the gym is a must.
Shit is a must.
While we are on this subject, what's the biggest mistake you see people making on the gym, at the gym?
I mean, for everyone who goes to the gym, that's good. Congratulations, the first step. But then pretty quickly, they're starting doing all the mistakes, and one would be like they're going without a plan. I'm not sure if you've done this well. When we go to the gym without a plan, I've done it like many times. Oh, I have so much experience in weight training, so I think you don't need a plan anymore. And before you know it, you're just doing the exercises that you like, and the ones that dislike you don't do anymore. You don't know, are you actually progressing, which is a very important factor that you're actually getting stronger, right? But if you don't do that, if you don't track, if you don't have a plan, what happens? Imbalances. What happens also, like motivation goes down because you go, but you don't even know, are you progressing? Is it doing something? And so pretty quickly, people losing motivation. Especially January, everyone runs to the gym, and then a few weeks later, they're already demotivated. Usually that's the thing. They don't have a plan. They don't know what they actually do or should do, and hence, that they're using motivation. So having a plan, in my opinion, absolutely crucial.
All right, makes total sense because that happened a lot in my life.
See,
So, do you think it's better to work out in the same session the entire body or divide by sections each day of the week?
yeah. So here I have reference to just the current studies, because like if you look at studies that were made over the past few years, you see that you make the best results when you work every muscle part at least twice, if not 3 times per week. That means if you go to the gym 2 or 3 times per week, you better work out all the muscle parts, because then you have like this frequency of 3 times per week, every muscle part. If you decide to work out 4 times, 5 times, 6 times a week, then you can think of splitting the muscle mass. Because even if you do one day upper body, then lower body, then upper body, lower body, 4 times in total, then you have every muscle part twice a week. You can take it even further. Oh, I'm gonna go 6 times a week. So I'm doing, for example, push-pull legs, right? And then again, because do push-pull legs, you have every muscle part twice a week. To summarize this question, it depends very much how often you actually can go to the gym.
All right, but speaking of which, how many times do you think I have to go to the gym to get results, or what's the minimum amount? Let's say I'm very busy.
Yeah, you can certainly achieve results if you go twice a week. What my standard is, what I also expect from my client is 3 times a week. Why? Because I think everyone can work out 3 times a week, no matter how busy you are, no matter whether you have family and businesses and how many things you have to do. But then also, like, fully, you want results, right? And nobody can expect results with like 3 times or 2 times 10 minutes or something like that. Sometimes you see the internet and, you're a busy person, all you have to do here, 7 minutes, afternoons workout, whatever is there. But you want to live a healthy lifestyle, and obviously working out is part of it. Now it doesn't make sense to just limit it to absolute minimal, 10 minutes, so that 3 times a week, forget that. So I would say 3 times a week is great to see good results.
I call it at least an hour.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible to see results with 2 hours. But again, if on a healthy lifestyle, interfere with the results 2 times a week, 1 hour, and you're good.
All right, and do you think we need to lift heavy to build a muscle?
No, you definitely don't need to lift heavy. But the thing is, in the gym, you want to progress. So over time, you want to lift more weight. Because if you do the same thing over and over, why shouldn't your body change? Right? If you all you can do is 10 push-ups, and you do always 10 push-ups, so next week 10 push-ups, next week 10 push-ups, why should your body change? Why should it adapt and get stronger? So what do we need to do in the gym? Lift heavier weights with time, right? To show the body, hey, you're weak, please build muscle, please get stronger. So next time I come back, that I can lift this weight. Now, the other thing is, however, it's not all about weight, because what is needed to build muscle is stimulus, right? And you can do that in various ways. You can slow down the tempo, or you can do more exercises, you can do more sets. But in short, like, it's not needed to lift the super heavy. And I would even say it's more important to lift controlled and actually contract the right muscle part. As you know, if I do biceps curls for the arms, and I'm just taking the heaviest weight, but all I'm doing swinging and I use momentum, then you're not building any muscle. Like, you probably get injury. That's it. Yeah. So no, we don't need to lift heavy to build a muscle necessarily, but you need to make sure that there's a progress. And hopefully you will come to this point where you then lift heavy at some point, right? Because you're so good at it.
So based on that, what's the best training program you recommend?
Huh. Answer it this way. The it's good. You have a program, so you're probably doing better than 80% already. And then the best program is probably the one that you currently don't follow. And what I mean is, if you have a plan and you do that for the entire year, at some point you will stagnate, because it's impossible to just take more weight, the same exercises, and you will stagnate. So you need to make sure that after some time, and I do that with my friends even every 2 months, change the entire program, different exercises, different rep ranges, different amount of sets, right? So that A, that you're not bored, and B, that your body has reason to change again. Now, maybe just as an addition, because we spoke about it before, the training program needs to look at various things. One of which is how often do you work out. So it doesn't make sense to train arms one day, train legs on the other, and that's it. Because again, you need to lift, or you should work every muscle part at least twice or 3 times a week. So if you do 3 times a week, then again, makes sense to work the entire body and not just do one particular muscle group. That just doesn't make sense.
All right. So the best workout program is your next one. And what about rest periods? Are they actually necessary? Isn't it more intense to do all the exercises like back to back?
You can answer that. What do you think?
I mean, I know the answer. You can feel the difference when you work out like just you rest for 30 seconds. You cannot lift the same weight, or you cannot do the same amount of reps. Whilst if you go and over exaggerate, let's say you wait 3-4 minutes, you could do the same let's say intensity and the same weights, same number of reps, or maybe even more. So I would say it's completely important. It's totally important, but obviously you have your limitations. You cannot rest for 5 minutes because then you're gonna be at the gym for 3 hours. So at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, I would say. Well, just yeah. If you look at powerlifter, for example, they actually do 5 minutes, and they are like 3 hours in the gym. It's a thing. It depends on what you want to achieve in the gym. But generally speaking, super important, because as you said, if you take 30 seconds rest, there's no way. Or if you do the same amount of reps in the second and third set, then you're probably not using enough weight, right? Except it's like the baby weight you're using. So this is very important that you actually rest between the sets, between the exercise, that the body can recover and can actually push again, right? Is ready for the next set. Because if you do, just to give a clear example, if you do 10 reps the first set, and now you're waiting 20 seconds to the second one, you can only do 3 reps. Then you're waiting again 30 seconds, you can only do 2. Then you have the 12 to what? 10 and plus, because 2 pitching out almost. Well, I don't remember what it said. But now if you wait 9 seconds, for example, so you do 10, and then 10 again, and then might be 9, so you have 29 reps with more weights, which means more stimulus, which means better muscle growth. So take the rest periods serious. Don't skip that.
All right. Thank you. And enough about training. I would like to talk about diet right now, which is something that you do as well. How strict are you when it comes to diet and nutrition?
You know how strict or not so strict I am. Like, it's way less than people think, because usually when I run into someone at the gym, or I know a new person who doesn't know me, right? They think, okay, this guy's into fitness and his profession is fitness, so he must be super, super strict about his diet. Now, I also have a life outside of fitness, and I have a family. Like, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I like doing things with her. And yes, awesome ice cream or a pizza night. It's a must for me. I enjoy those things, right? So bottom line is, I can eat relatively a lot because, I have like more muscle mass than rental person who maybe not worked out yet. But I'm not very strict. I eat pizza, I eat burgers, I eat sweets, and actually quite frequently. Yeah.
Right. So give us an example. Like, what did you eat yesterday at dinner and your breakfast today?
All right. So it was actually clean. So this morning, all I had was whey protein for breakfast. Just have low-fat milk and whey protein. Just like something that, you don't need to prepare. It takes like 10 seconds and you're good to go. So if you're busy, then that's a perfect start, in my opinion. And then yesterday, it was my daughter, and we did. I'm gonna give you the recipe. Super simple. I did 3 pans, right? I had one of pasta, I had one with mixed vegetables, and then one with shredded chicken. And then I literally cooked it, and that for my daughter was the pasta and chicken. She doesn't eat veggies, And what I did, I like just added the vegetables to the other pan, added chicken, stirred all up, a little bit of soy sauce, and that's it. So super, super simple. And also good. Say some good and also child friendly, family friendly. Yeah, I like to make things simple. So I have like 4 or 5 meals that I know how to cook, and know the distribute, and know my daughter likes, and then just rotate it.
Yeah, that's nice. Remind me to teach you a very good tomato sauce that I just started doing with. All right. So let me give you just an example. My dinner yesterday was like a burger with fries, and that's okay because I don't eat that all the time. I'm still fit.
It's about, yeah, like, well, as always, like, one fit doesn't make you fat, right? It's exactly like one fit meal doesn't make you lean. But yeah, like, what was it? Friday we were in the churrascaria,
Yeah.
together of all you placed, and then I think Saturday we ate also in a restaurant. So the padaria.
Yeah. So as long as your 80% is healthy food, your other 20%, you can eat whatever you want. Obviously, if you exercise. So is it true that carbs make you fat?
Carbs, the carbohydrates. No, at the end of the day, it's like how much energy you eat throughout the day or throughout the week, and it doesn't really matter where these calories are coming from, right? You can eat pasta and still lose fat. That's not the problem. You can eat bread and still lose fat. That's not the problem. No, it's not the best way, because obviously you need the protein, you need the fats to keep a healthy hormonal system. Um, but I think it's came in the 90s even, where everyone's so afraid of carbs, especially at night, right? Carbs after 6, that they make you fat. Like, it's such a myth. Like, it's just not true. Um, this being said, it's what people tend to overeat, right? Because carbohydrates are everywhere. You go to a restaurant and sometimes they have like pasta with tomato sauce, and this is not a complete meal, right? There's no protein. There's some bad, but not the best bad, and fine. But this is why usually people make best results when they lower carbs, because automatically they eat more protein, they eat more healthy fats, and so yeah, I actually recommend to those who want to do for it that, like, reduce the carbs a little bit. Um, but again, if you're, I mean, you also eat like quite a lot of carbs, and
Yeah.
that like it,
I mean, they're necessary, especially for us that work us a lot.
yeah, like it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can gain body fat even if you eat too much fat or protein, yeah, right? So it doesn't even matter what it was. Like, it's a simple calculation, like how much energy are you uh using on a day-to-day basis when it with sports and walking and everything, and then how much are you eating in terms of calories, and that could be carbs, could be protein, could be fat, could be alcohol, and then you check, okay, are you spending more or than you're using or not, and this then dictates whether you lose weight or not. But it's not the carbs. So no, absolutely not.
All right. And what do you think is more important, the diet or the training?
So what you always hear is like 80-20, right? It's 80% diet, 20% training. But and here comes the box. Like, think about it. If you do diet only and no training, even if your diet is perfect, but you don't give your body the right stimulus, you will not build muscle. Like, it will not happen, and you will actually lose muscle mass, no matter how good your diet is. On the other hand, if you only focus on training and you go to the gym every single day, but now you're eating like a pig, uh, not enough protein, but plenty of carb, plenty of fat, way too much, then you're also ruining your gym progress, right? So I think the right answer is it needs both, and you need both in well, with system, right? I think it's 80-20. I don't know exactly, right? I mean, yeah, you can lose weight with diet alone, but again, you want to lose body fat and not just weight. And then if you also want to look muscular, lean, athletic, then you need absolutely the weight training component. So it goes hand in hand, and the kind of things say, which is more important. I also think for a healthy lifestyle, you need both. So that, yeah. But what do you think?
No, yeah, I completely agree. It's very common. You go to the gym and you see a guy that works out for like 15 years. He doesn't look fit. You cannot even tell that he works out. And also, you can see a person that eats very healthy for the last 50 years, and it's that kind of false thin. So, yeah, I completely agree. And what should I eat before and after the workout? What do you recommend?
I would give you, when I talk to you personally, I would give you another recommendation than I give to people in general, because context matters. So it's important to know who is asking. Is it an athlete where it actually matters? Oh, half an hour earlier, I need a bit more carbs because I have a race, and then after the workout, I need to recover, and then they have a very fixed schedule, and then sleep, and then recovery. Or is it just like a person who, is it the professional? Is not a professional, but wants to lose 5 kilograms of body fat, wants to feel fitter, more energy, wants to, look clean. And then I think this is where people just to overcomplicate, unless you did in Brazil here as well. Like they're way too strict, and like, half an hour before the gym, you need to have dulce de leche, this sugary
Yeah.
thing to get, the sugar to get better performance. And then right after the gym, you need like all the supplements and the protein. But it is not that important. It's really not that important. Like what's way more important is what you eat throughout the day and how much you eat, and not so much when you eat it. Again, if we speak to the general population, if we talk to like high level athlete, yeah, then it can make sense. Then we can talk about, okay, when you eat it, how much, or for what you eat. But I mean, people like to work out on an empty stomach. I also like to work out on an empty stomach. Now after the gym, you can argue, okay, you need protein. So ultimately, you have like your whey protein, or like if you have dinner or lunch or just your next meal, then that's good as well. Just make sure you have the protein in there, and you're good to go. So I'm really not that strict, and I don't see a point in overcomplicating this.
Yeah, totally agree. I would just say that after the gym, after the workout, you increase the absorption of everything. So if you smoke, you're gonna absorb more. If you drink, you're gonna absorb more. If you take whey protein, you're gonna absorb more.
Yeah, that's it. It makes a lot of sense to get protein. But again, if you go to the gym at like just 10 minutes later, you're having dinner,
Yeah, it's okay.
just you don't need the protein and the tree.
All right. So, do you think it's necessary to count the calories to lose weight?
Do you count calories? Yeah, I don't either. And we both know that you can lose without count the calories. But no, I mean,
You know the basics.
yeah, need to know the basics. And here again, like, does count the calories work? Yes. Is it complicated? Yes. Does it make your life easier? No, not at all. Like on the opposite, like when you like everything you eat, you need to take your phone and then write how much you're eating and for how much of what, and then you go to a restaurant, and then you don't number calories, and then usually, I mean, it's good for a week or two just to get an idea where you're at, and to realize, oh, this little salad here has like so many calories just because of like sauce and there's avocado and whatnot. But then long term, no, like you don't want to, I don't want to, and you don't need to. But it's like, yeah, like you honestly want to make your life like harder. Like, right.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, once you learn the basics and you know on average how much each kind of food impacts your diet, it's automatic. You reach count.
Yeah. Or even, I mean, if you eat the same thing every single day, so not necessarily exactly the same, but the same amount of meals, it's the same amount of snacks, and you do it for 2 weeks, and then you're saying, okay, what is your weight doing? If your body weight goes up, then oh, it's probably a bit too much, so maybe I need to make adjustments. It needs to take out a snack. Maybe I need to, change my eating habits a bit. But it's so easy. If every day is more or less the same, you can easily make adjustments, and you see, okay, yeah, you just need to double check what weight does when you make an adjustment, and it's also the system I use, like just like standardized there, right? The amount of meals, the amount of snacks, make sure they have enough protein, and then if the weight doesn't go how I want, then I make adjustments. But they'll track in calorie.
Yeah, makes sense. And can you eat chocolates and still lose fat?
Would be sad if not, right? It would be very sad.
I mean, I have a half a bar of chocolate yesterday after the burger, so I mean, it's not every day, but
Again, it doesn't matter where the calories are coming from. You can eat an entire chocolate bar a day and still lose weight. It's possible. Is it the healthiest way? No, at least when all you eat is just a chocolate bar, right? And yes, like a lot of sugar, a lot of fat, and that's it. Um, but absolutely. And usually I like to ask my clients, okay, what is something that you absolutely need to have in your diet? And if they say chocolate, man, I like every single day I add a little piece of chocolate into their diet, right? Because the worst thing that it happens is you tell me you like chocolates, and me as your coach, I'm telling you, man, just don't eat chocolate anymore. Like, man, we're cutting it out. Now you can probably do that for a month, two. I mean, you have a good you have willpower. You have a lot of willpower. You can probably do it for 3 months, but after some time, you will probably come to the point where it's okay, man, I'm craving it so much, and now finally it's a break with Martin over, and finally I can have chocolate again. And then it's not only a little piece, but it's probably a binge attack, or then again you're eating so much that just the yo-yo effect happens and your weight goes up again, right? So yeah, you can definitely lose weight and fat even when you eat chocolate.
yeah, life can be good while on diet. You shouldn't suffer. If you're suffering on your diet, there's something wrong.
What helps a lot is like protein bars, obviously. If you have a sweet tooth like me, I'm having a lot of protein bars. Like,
Yeah, but you choose the right one. Some of them are very fat.
either Brazil, they're not cute. Yeah, like they're really not cute.
There are few more brands that you can eat.
Yeah, and I got gave my clients recommendation what to look out for when it comes to protein bar. And then yesterday I went to the supermarket here, and I literally took a picture and sent to my group chat. I said, "Oh, this is how it not should be," because every single, but there were about 5 different bars. Everyone was between 9 and 15 grams of protein. That's the
So low.
so low, so low. Probably more sugar or more fat.
Yep, fat and sugar, definitely. All right, so what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting can work. The theory works very well. If you skip breakfast, maybe lunch, the problem there is more psychological, because like then at night you think, okay, I haven't eaten breakfast, I haven't eaten lunch, so now I can have this massive dinner. Now if this massive dinner like has like 3,000 calories, because like pizza, then ice cream, lot, then you're overeating and you can actually gain weight while doing intermittent fasting, right? The other problem with it is if you only have one meal, or even if you have 2 meals, the amount of protein you need to have to cover your needs, protein needs induced two meals, is so high. You probably have to eat no, 2 chickens, yeah, or like 15 eggs. And who does that? So you need to be careful with that. Like, yeah, it can work, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I would prefer to have, let's say, if you like a huge dinner, that you also have a second meal, obviously, at lunch, and then maybe in the morning you have like a protein snack, or in the afternoon a protein snack, because this is very important. Again, that you cover your protein requirement.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah, and let's say regular people usually don't care about protein. And when I say regular people, I say my dad, my mom.
Like they don't know. I'm gonna say that my mom asked me the other week, and she said, Martin, what do you think? Should we also increase our protein a little bit?" Right? Like I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, but people don't know that you need protein. You absolutely need protein, and you need even more when you weight train, right? Because the problem is like a building block. And if you weight train, if you break down the muscles and you don't give them enough protein, nothing happens. Your body will not recover. You cannot grow. So you need the protein. And Also, if you don't forget, you need protein. It's just way more than just muscle. It's also for the skin. It's also for the nails. Like you need protein to survive, actually. And unfortunately, people way too little.
Yeah, and we could say that the useful part of our body, parts of our body are made out of protein. So that's it, as you said. What's your opinion on vegan diet? That's be serious.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. And believe me or not, I understand people say they want to live a vegan lifestyle, not to eat yeah, the vegan diet. The reason why I'm laughing is like it's very, very difficult. And I had two more actually. Okay, I had more clients that were vegans than two, but two of them actually changed their minds throughout our work because they realized, oh man, there's so many things I need to pay attention to, and it's so limited to what I can eat throughout the day that it's too complicated. And then I include some fish or something like that. Okay, it's right. Um, there again, like it's the protein requirement that you need to cover somehow. And if you're vegan, like the best protein sources, like meats, you cannot have and find alternative things. And the problem there is, yeah, there are things that have protein, but they also come with carbohydrates, they come with energy, right? So give an example of 100 grams of chicken breast has probably 25 grams of protein and 100 calories. Now, if you look at something, whatever, I think tofu comes close to that, but then that's it. Like all, whatever it is, chickpeas or whatever, they say, oh, I can just eat chickpeas. There's also protein. Yeah, but then you look at the calories, that's way, way higher. It's not on 100 calories per 100 gram. This is make 200 or 300 calories. And if you want to lose weight and at still time, get the protein in, it's like, it's very, very tricky. It's very, very tricky. I'm not saying it's not working, but it takes even more strategy. It takes way more preparation and yeah, just on day-to-day basis, it's tricky. You know it yourself. Go to a restaurant. I mean, here in Brazil, good luck. You go to a Churrascaria, you're in Portugal, the best card.
And also there's something about the health. Like you can get protein from vegetable sources, but they are not complete. Like they don't have the full range of amino acids, and you're gonna need it from somewhere, and you're gonna have to supplement. And where does this amino acids come from? Carnivore.
Sources, it is so damn organic, then it gets so complicated because then get a bit of pea protein and then a bit of yam from them.
And then the calories, you have to mix them. It's their good luck.
It's tricky. It's tricky. It's possible because again, I don't want to say it's bad. I'm not doing the vegan diet obviously. But it's
Yeah, I could say obviously it's possible because you can see people leaving out of McDonald's, and they're living. I mean, they're gonna die soon after it. All right. Let's say, what's the common mistake you see people making when it comes to nutrition?
probably the all or nothing mindset where they think now I'm gonna start fitness and every single thing needs to be perfect. Right. And then when they slip up, if they have this little piece of chocolate, they think, oh, now I need to start again, or I fucked up, right? This is what happens. And I let myself down. They're more bad conscious. And then I think, oh, I already had this piece of chocolate. Now it doesn't matter anymore. So then also after pizza, I will also have a second piece. And then one day, goes to another and they're not going to do anymore. When in fact, like, in this entire fitness thing, it should make your life better, not worse. It shouldn't limit your experience on this earth, right? So they need to understand fitness is not all or nothing, and there is balance. There is a balance, believe me or not, there is, and you can make good results even when not everything is always perfect, right? Also, because for people, it will never be perfect. Also, we strive for progress, perfection, because perfection is literally it's a success. Yeah, not possible.
All right. I saw on your website that you mainly work with entrepreneurs and managers. Why is that? Is that a reason?
The reason is the following: people resonate with people who are in a similar situation. So I'm a father, I have my business, I have a lot of things to do. I have a stressful life, even believe me or not, because I'm doing, the podcast and the YouTube, but then the Instagram, and then the coaching, and then the group calls, and then the plans, and blah 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 blah. So there is a lot of stress. Also, I didn't even mention my private life. If you look at that as well, there is a lot of stress. There is a lot of stress, but I make it work, right? I make it work. So that, okay, look, I also have a daughter. I also have a lot of stress. I also have a business, and I know how difficult it is, and I know, or I also want to eat with my daughter. Um, but it's possible, right? And that's not. They're right. Maybe before I thought, you know, I need to be super strict, or if I ask a 18-year-old guy, can I give me fitness advice, then he will probably come up with like calorie counting and 8 meals a day and just go to the gym 2 hours a day, because he doesn't know how it looks like, a life of a father or of an entrepreneur, and that they don't want to eat every 2 hours, you know. And so it's as simple as that. They can resonate with my story, with who I am. They're in a similar position, and they hopefully they'll say, okay, if Martin can do that, then I can do that too, right?
Right, but makes a lot of sense, definitely. And don't forget, soon you'll have a dog also.
Not sure about that. Almost adopted one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, what does your online coach include?
So what I do basically, in short, I help people get results. That's like super simple. I help to get them results, whether it is lose 10 kilograms of body fat or get leaner, stronger, more energized. This is a common one, right? For people who are low in energy, just want to be more present, want to have more energy for work and for their family. That's a huge one. And I deliver that. Now I do everything remote. So I give plans that is like diet and training. Use a app, and Phil also showed you. Um, then we do check-ins, where we go into it. Okay, how it's going, what adjustments need to be made, like all those things. Then group calls we do what is in this? Just basically, it's always hard to like write everything down because so many things. I mean, can literally say I'm also doing the WhatsApp support, and we have like the a group chat, and we're sending their motivational things, and like it's basically only need to get results. Obviously, what you still need to do is follow through, right? But in short, it's all remote, so a client never sees or goes to the gym with me. And so I think it's optimal for people who are independent, who maybe have like a very a lot of things to do throughout the day, so they can exactly say when they want to work out, right? Doesn't matter whether it's 6 a.m. or at lunch or in the evening, they can like decide that themselves. And so that's the same with diets. Like everything is obviously individualized, because in fitness, or I would say in life in general, it's like one size doesn't fit all. Like it needs to be individual, and yeah. So a lot of the coaching is actually asking, so how is it going? We created a plan for you. How is it going, right? And what is going well, what is not going well, what do you struggle with, figuring those things out. Be it with messenger, be it with calls, be it in a group setting, be it whatever is required, right?
Right. And how do you say you differentiate from the other online coaches? Surprise question.
Um, Again, I bring it back to that I can, for people that resonate with me, because I'm very pragmatic, I would say, when it comes to all of it, diet, training, sleep. My objective is obviously to push my client, but I also know, what is perfect. Let's say, with diet, with the training, with the sleep, 10 hours of sleep would be awesome. right? But I also know real life. I know what it is, right? To be a father, to be stressed, to have a lot of things to do. And I think it's accepted this. There's nothing magical. Um, but I think I'm very good at connecting with those people who are, somewhere on the same level, and then helping them push through difficult life situations. Because, as a matter of fact, most of the times conversations are not necessarily about training or diet or recovery. It's part,
Because everyone can do that.
yeah, but most often it's like things up here, mindset. And then you look at my story, what I've gone through. This would now, I'm not going into it because it would now be way too long, but people who work with me, they know my story, they know what I went through, they know how I reacted to those things that happened in my life. And everyone has struggles, and I can, guide them through those struggles too. Um, yeah, it's literally that. It's just a lot of experience, obviously. But then same level, because again, an 18-year-old cannot coach a 4-year-old family father. It's just way too many differences. Even though I have all the experience and know exactly how it works, and starting the loft, and from the folks, I'm very praxis orientated, meaning I see, okay, what gives me the best results and what is actually doable, right? Not what is absolute best, but okay, real life. What can I do? Something simple, keeping it simple. And yeah, well,
Right. Good. Um, what would you say is the most important mindset shift for someone who's starting the fitness journey?
the all or nothing is approach. This we need to figure out. So like, get away from that. And you can get good results without being perfect all the time. Um, and then there is the understanding of why you want to do it. This is something I do with every single person I work with. The first thing is not, here's a workout, go. It's not training, yo. The very first thing is, okay, hey, what do you want to do and why you want to do it? Because if the why is strong enough, you'll have enough power to do it and push through. But if your why is, I'll want to look good at the beach, have a little bit more biceps, probably not strong enough of a why, right?
It's gonna last until next summer.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, there's a lot of mindset work I do, and I mean, again, the plans by itself is actually the easy part, because you can ask ChatGPT, you can ask Google, hey, give me some diet plan, train it, but that's easy. Like, the thing is really like, how do I incorporate that into my life, and that includes, like, mindset, obviously. And this is like a, yeah, I mean, my books that I'm writing with the same line, Stronger Than Yesterday, it's all mindset. It's all mindset.
Yeah. Completely agree that it's the most important thing. Have you ever struggled personally with fitness or diet? And if yes, how did you overcome it?
It's funny. People usually think, oh, if you learn this for so long, it's so easy for you. But I don't know. Is it actually easy? I don't think it's ever easy. It's not never gonna be super easy. It's not true. And there's always periods of, like, every person has that, right? That we're more motivated, less motivated, where you feeling great and it feels easy to eat healthily, and then other times where it's not, right? Where you find it very difficult and you have more cravings because you're more stressed or have less sleep than usually. Um, and if I think back when my daughter was born, and we had like this sort of sleepless nights, and I had like the worst cravings ever, and I now then binge attacks there, like, and then there I was, okay, and the fittest guy, I'm having binge attacks, where I would just want to eat everything I see and everything that comes in my hands. Um, but again, you need to find out, okay, what is the trigger? And back then it was obviously stress, way too much stress. Like, and then it comes back to mindset. So a fitness, and that's so funny. Fitness is so much mindset. It's so much mindset.
way more than training a diet.
So it all comes down to mindset. But to answer the question, yeah, everyone struggles. Nobody can tell me, no matter how good they look or how long they do that. Everyone struggles. I struggled. I have like these phases where I think it's not going well, or I crave sweets, and then phases where where I don't think about sweets at all. Very very normal. Keep going, keep going, keep like it's a work in progress, right? There's no solution. Like keep going no matter what, and try to realize, okay, why do I do that? Why I create sweets, and what can I do? But then plan ahead. So, but yeah, everyone's some monsters.
Right? And how do you adapt your coaching when a client's traveling a lot, or let's say constantly on the move?
When it's traveling or struggling.
When he's traveling.
Oh yeah, that's relatively easy. I have like several clients who are traveling all the time, right? And then it needs some modifications, obviously, when on some planning, because when someone travels, we need to know, okay, does this person have a gym or not? And we have if they have a gym, then continue it the same way. And it's funny, some people tell me then a year later after coaching, man, now I go to, but when I look for a hotel for vacation, I always make sure there's a gym. So that's good, right? And then if they don't have a gym, then we include bodyweight workouts. It's not always needed. If someone goes to a ski holiday, then that's fine as well, right? But yeah, like the thing is, like, you want to be fit and healthy entire life, entire year, and not only before the beach occasion, or not only before the wedding. So it makes sense to keep the routine up, because ask any athlete, if they go out of routine for too long, in 2 weeks, they're having a hard time to getting into the group again. So what's better, just keep it up, keep going, do the workouts, even though the workouts are then just body weight based, or not as intensely. You're just keeping it up as little as possible, and that's the secret. Like, just stay path, right? And then diet obviously, then there's depends very much where someone goes on vacation, where someone um yeah, but like it has a buffet or not, or eats in restaurants, or can meal prep, or but at the end of the day, again, it's a balance. There's like you can actually, if you're having a huge breakfast in the morning, then you need to compensate, obviously, so eat less throughout the day. And it's just like a lot of understanding. Okay, it makes sense not to eat huge breakfast and then pizza for lunch, and then also spaghetti for dinner. That's not the best combo, right? So we're going through that and teach them how they can compensate, and it's nothing fancy, like compensate.
Okay. And how do you help your clients stay consistent, especially when life gets busy or motivation fades?
Yeah, I think accountability is the keyword there. Because having a plan is one thing, but it's easy. You go to ChatGPT, give me a workout program, give me a diet, and you have everything you need, basic. But now from through and adopting it long term into your day to day life, that's difficult, right? And this is where the check-ins come in. This is where the group calls come in. This is where the app comes in, because I see exactly who burped when and what, right? So I can see if someone skipped the gym for 3 times in a row, right? And then for the check-ins, it's actually the same. They need to assess themselves. They need to give themselves a note and tell them, yeah, literally say, okay, what went well, what did not go well, what do you struggle with? And obviously, if I see how someone is struggling, has, everything, like someone lost their mother, one like the accident, obviously, someone had a brain tumor, like the things you go through with people are not always nice. Like it is sad. It's really sad. But I'm there. I want to be there and want to help them. So if I say someone's struggling, right away, okay, let's set up a call. And then it's not about train. It's not about diet. It's about, again, mindset. Right.
Yeah. Okay. And you basically respond that, but let's repeat it. Do your clients need access to a gym to work out to work with you?
No, I think like 50% actually work out at home. I recommend dumbbells, the adjustable ones. They're super cool. You can say 20 kilograms in 20 burps. Yeah, that's sort of like the 20 kilograms. They're super handy for workouts at home. Average with 50% who works out at home. Yeah.
So good. What supplements do you usually recommend?
So I think no matter what goal they have, like it's basically always the same ones, and it comes down to creatine, which is the most researched supplement. And I even recommend it nowadays to people who don't work out. I recommend to literally everyone. Good to know is also creatine is not something, no chemical. It's something that he found in meat and salmon, and the benefits are it's just proven benefits, right? Yeah. Not only from athletic standpoint that they can lift more weights and then potentially build more muscle, but then also how good it is for the body and possibly even for the brain, right? So it's creatine for sure. And with supplements like whey protein, protein bars, because they're tasty, laryngeal, yeah, practical. You can take them wherever. In Switzerland, you need to be careful about sunlight, right? That you don't have enough sunlight. So vitamin D is important throughout the winter months. Depending, omega-3 is something, depending on someone eats a lot of fish or not, salmon and stuff. I personally use pre-workout as well, as you know, like especially when you didn't get enough sleep. That's a good one. And multivitamin is never wrong. And then, yeah, that's I think pretty much it. Obviously, I always ask, are you willing to take supplements? If yes, here's my recommendation. If not, then it's okay as well.
Yeah, they're not a must.
What do you add?
I have creatine, omega-3, um, some vitamins like B12, B6, D, vitamin D, because I live in Brazil, but I don't take a lot of sunlight. Whey protein, obviously, but it's not mandatory. It's just because I like it and it's practical. And I think that's it for now. Sometimes beta-alanine, but I'm not using it right now. All right. And how did becoming a father change your approach to diet and fitness?
Yeah, it's actually a funny story. Like for years, I think age 16, 17 to 25, probably. Some years I didn't eat chocolate, not a single piece.
Right.
Not a single bit. Like I was weird. I didn't eat chocolate, but horrible. And the funny thing is, like, didn't crave it because, well, I didn't know how good it is. In the beginning, it was probably, oh, I'm going now. It's all or nothing approach. I'm doing now fitness, so I'm not gonna eat chocolate. And when it was willpower, right, of that age, like 17 or whatnot, I don't eat chocolate. It's not good for me. And then whenever would eat someone chocolate to say no, and I wouldn't have a problem at all because I didn't know how good chocolate can be, right? And then nowadays, I mean, here in Brazil, and I need my pizza with brownie every single week. I need that. So, no, I love sweets. In the meantime, I love desserts on the eats on a regular basis. And this comes down, I think, to, I don't know about my daughter. That sounds weird. But it comes down to, like, bro, it wasn't really then when I moved to Brazil, because I saw, oh man, the good desserts and like all the stuff they have, like so tasty. And they are very good desserts. You have like egg fruit in general, fast desserts, like so heavy and so much calories, but it's really good. And then because as a father, obviously you want to spend as much time with your daughter, and you want to go, I don't know, enjoy this, like going for ice cream. I really enjoy this. And you want to be able to eat out with your family, and you want to have this experience that before was probably not that important because it was just me and I'm okay with being strict. And then when it becomes more of an experience, food is an experience, right? And then especially a person's crazy, like yeah. And so I changed my entire view. My entire life changed, right? So everything changed, literally everything changed. And then also nowadays we go to YouTube, right? We go to gymnastics once a week. I don't know whether I would do that. Like, was also an idea. Okay, my daughter goes to gymnastics, so I do something with her. So I also go to gymnastics. So in the beginning we went together, and then now you're by yourself. And yeah, but I enjoy it as well. So yeah, everything changed. Everything changed, but it's good for good. Literally for good, because again, before it was quite extreme, and now I'm having way more of this balance, and I see fitness completely different nowadays.
Good. And what's your secret to being a successful online fitness coach?
The secret.
Yeah, I need to know because I want to become one too.
You need to care about people. But you need to care more about than the money for sure. And then you need to have a lot of discipline for sure to build any business. Actually, uh, personally, I learned that discipline in the gym with training. That's if I'm disciplined, if I put in the work, whether I like it or not, I can do the body, and then I apply it to the business world there as well. If I don't feel like it doing it, I can see that results as well. Um, and then if I had to talk to someone who starts also in the fitness space, I would say have a very specific niche, right? Have like a specific audience you want to work with, and that can resonate. And obviously, it makes sense that you're just one step ahead of them, so you can show them the way and show them how it's done. In the beginning, I did that mistake a lot. I wanted to coach everyone, or I didn't know who to coach really, and so I would only show what I do. And back then, I was like, yeah, fitness freak, gym rat, right? And it didn't come to mind that not everyone wants to work out that much. Not everyone wants to back then, count calories and whatnot, all these things that I just learned later that are not needed. But it was almost like, why is it not working? I mean, having the body, right? I'm a fit body, but why is nobody wants to give me money until like are you dialed in until my entire life changed again until I got a father and I built a business, and like it was just then that I said, okay, it makes sense. These are my peers, these are people I also can have a really good conversation. It's not always about fitness, it's also about traveling, about family and life, and whatnot. But having a niche is super, super important. And then you can also make content for that niche. It's not just like, what supplements to take, protein and omega-3, insulin, yes, to try to speak to a certain group of people, and then, yeah, just be consistent. But the thing is, like, I could give you the entire game plan, like how I built my business and what I did, how I did it, for how long. And the thing is, like, and it happened to people before, they will still not be successful because they don't have the discipline to meet it, right? Because it is very hard. It is hard. Also, being fit, I think, is tough and requires a lot of sacrifices. And like, I don't know whether I don't think it's given. Nobody's born of discipline. Something you can learn. But this thing is really, you need to put in the work. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut.
Yeah. Do you consider the typical Swiss diet healthy?
No, it is so funny. Like I have no idea how is the Swiss diet. I think it's probably the typical Swiss breakfast, like in the morning. Very traditional would be like bread and butter, and then some marmalade. That's pretty much it. And oftentimes, as a Trump families eat cold also in the evening, so it's exactly the same. It's bread and butter, marmalade, maybe yogurt, and then you start wondering, okay, where is the protein? Like, I was like, where are the vitamins and the minerals and like what's going on? Then also the typical Swiss dishes, like Alpenmacaronen. It's just like basically mackerel, pasta, and then with cheese, and it's a potato. Pure carbs, and then again, yeah, it's just a lot of carbohydrates, no protein. It's certainly not the healthiest. Also, for me personally, not the best or fondue. I mean, it's like cheese with bread. I mean, like, yeah, so heavy. It's not the healthiest, and obviously, or without seeing a certain study or knowing the numbers, I just know for a fact the typical Swiss eats way too little protein, way too little.
So if you are from Switzerland or you live in Switzerland, watch out.
Not tough. Increase your protein. Good, good. Any further questions?
Let me think.
Can check your list that you made there. Is there anything on there, or are we at the end? If not, soon chin time.
Yeah.
We still haven't got our chin session today.
No, actually, I made all my questions.
Good, perfect. So,
Do you have any questions?
don't have any questions. We're going to work out today. Back, biceps.
Back at triceps.
Back at triceps.
Yeah, biceps also. Yes. Yeah, can coach you.
You can coach me. Can hire you. Perfect, dude. Thanks a lot for doing this with me. What a pleasure. I hope we can do this again. It was now obviously more on my side to speak and give my thoughts, but that was also the idea that it's a Q&A session. Maybe another time we can do it more conversational. That is more fluent conversation. But thanks for doing this with me once again. Before I wrap it up, do you want to say something?
Oh yeah, I just would like to thank you for the opportunity. I loved it. Ellis podcast, first podcast, and with the subject that I love it. So it was very, as I enjoyed a lot. Was remarkable. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Actually, because you liked it so much, Hadi wanted you to go on Spotify, and if you haven't done it yet, give my podcast here 5 stars.
Yeah, but
Everyone who listens to that, you'll be saying on Spotify, Stronger Than Yesterday.
Yeah.
I would appreciate 5 stars there. It helps to grow the podcast, obviously. With that being said, thanks a lot to you. Thanks for tuning in. And see you in the next one.
see you. I think just one thing. I think I'm gonna create a podcast here. It's called Weaker Than Tomorrow.
It's like same thing with different words. Tomorrow gonna be stronger. That's also for exactly. Cool.
See you guys very much. Cheers. Danke schön.
Bye bye.